Well, we practice 4 times a week: Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I would sometimes work one-on-one with Bree and Kiara going over my moves. And the days right before the performance, the couple days before it, I would work with myself in my basement, just practicing.
For the performance, we prepared by running laps at the beginning of every practice to build up our stamina to be able to perform and maintain energy. And we practiced all the steps that we were going to use, and we ran the whole show, at least twice before we left practice.
Especially for the new people like me and a couple other people, we've really gotten more comfortable into the moves and our roles within the team, and we've gotten more comfortable with each other. We've been more friendly. So it's just a better team atmosphere. We all feel comfortable, and we feel like we have a really solid show.
Our members were definitely prepared, I would say, because they felt very confident about what they were doing. The only thing that they weren't used to was actually performing on a stage in front of an audience, so it was just nerves.
The way I go on at first is I have my little solo where I walk on, and it's like a little skit of me walking on. I'm the only guy and the only white guy. So they're all walking on, joking, and like, oh, who's this guy? How do I change my attitude to really get into this little skit? And then I'm just breathing because I have stage fright. So for me to do my little solo, it's just relaxing myself and getting ready for the skit and everything.
The BSU Fashion Show is meant to be an event hosted by the club BSU Black Student Union, where members of BSU and members outside of the club can participate in the show to both perform a talent and show off their skills and to model off their style. Personally, I feel like I've gotten a lot more focused on helping the team as a whole to get better and how to work with them in different ways in order to help them get better and perform better.
The first couple weeks going up until the first interview, it was more about learning the moves and getting them down, correcting the timing and everything. And then the past month has been just feeling more comfortable and getting the moves more fluid. And just becoming a more comfortable stepper, and so that's what I've been trying to work on, being less stiff and just kind of going with the flow of the step and moving and enjoying it.
Personally, I feel like it's a lot harder to perform for a competition because you do have the judges a couple feet away from you, and you have to look at them, and you also have your competitors looking at you, and it's a lot more nerve-wracking than in front of your peers who support you and are there to cheer you on.
I know a lot of the people in the crowd. A lot of them are my friends.
How do you feel?
I feel extremely nervous. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm psyched.
Then you start to feel nervous about wanting to do good. I'm feeling pumped. A little bit sweaty because it's hot up there. But I'm mainly just looking around, making sure when I'm moving that I'm moving with the rest of them, moving within my little pod and making sure I'm in the correct position, and then. Really, I'm just thinking of having fun with it, This is why I did it, is to perform, so I just want to enjoy it.
I may be new, but I'm going to show y'all how the Blue Diamonds turn up.
And I got up there in my first ever performance, you have a solo. So it's something to feel really, really good about.
For their first performance, I feel like they did really well. It was definitely a lot considering that they've never performed before and they've never stepped before, so I think they did really well.
I'm so happy and proud of myself and the team of what we've accomplished, because when when Kiara was first telling me, you should do this, I was I didn't think I'd be, that good, or, maybe I wouldn't make the cut. And then finally throughout the first practice, I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. But when you're watching the Blue Diamonds as an audience member, you're like, oh, that's so cool. They're doing the moves. That's so that's awesome. And so when you're finally, you're a part of that, and people at Spiffy High, I remember this, people were saying oh, forget about Mr. Spiffy High, the Blue Diamonds are back, and that just makes you feel really awesome. Yeah, the veterans coming back was really fun and cool.
Having the veterans step with us, even just for a couple minutes, was definitely exciting. It brought back a lot of memories. The STEP team is definitely a family. We all care about each other. We're all very supportive. We all try to help each other as much as we can. When it comes to captains, there is always a difference depending on who the captain is, how they work with you, but everyone is basically treated the same. We all miss our former captains, but the new captains are always really exciting to have.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool how they came back and they still remembered all the moves and they're still doing it at the same pace that the people who are currently in Blue Diamonds were doing it. And like they were really happy to go join up and do it again. And so everyone was happy for the little like reunion that happened.
2 or 3 years of now, of course, I would want to be in their shoes because it's always nice to look back and come back to something that you loved to do, especially like me. Like I love stepping, so like coming back 2 or 3 years from now is definitely going to be really exciting.
If I'm ever invited to come back, I'll definitely do it because it's a piece of my junior year so far, and if I decide to do it senior year, then it's going to be half of my high school career has been in the Blue Diamonds, and I'll happily come back if I still remember the steps.
This past month, we have gotten more into competition mode, where the intensity level and the complexity of our steps have gotten harder, and we are more focused than previously.
I'll be coming to a lot less rehearsals, if any at all.
We are full competition mode for all the competitions coming up.
Because that's when competition season, and they just work on competition stuff, which I have nothing. I'm not involved in the competition stuff at all, and so I'll go to a practice if it's before a school event, and I'll work on a new show or work on the old show, and I'll do that. If they ask me to come, they really don't need me because it's all competition stuff, and I won't be able to go because I don't have the time. I don't think I'm going to be performing for a couple of months.
Our next performance is January 23rd. That's actually our first competition of the season.
Try to go to one of the competitions because they are really, really good so far, and they're working on the show.
Definitely in the next months to come, we are going to be doing different steps, different level of complexity steps. We're going to be bringing a lot more ideas, and might have a little surprise or two in the shows that we perform.
I don't know if I can reveal the theme yet, but I know it's a really cool theme and it's going to be really enjoyable to watch.